Group B.
All right, come in.
Young man from Brooklyn who's doing a lot of good for our party and we're fighting for you.
No, get around where you can be seen. Don't hide.
Where's Joker?
You want to
Check.
some others?
Yep, get in and out.
Ready?
Yep.
All right.
One more. Is Nasca here?
Can you move back?
Is he coming?
Ready?
Have him out. One more. Never get a ball.
No flash on that. Where's the flash? One more. Oh, you can't see.
Get right up here. There's no flash on
Okay,
this.
here it is. He's got the flash now.
Okay.
David, hurry up.
Can you see everybody? Okay. Who's this young man?
Let's go.
Right here. Stand right in front of me.
Now, if you will all kindly rise, I would like to call former Congressman Joe DioGuardi, who also joins us from across the river, for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you. All join in. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Be seated. Just a couple of words the Congressman said I could have to begin with, and we'll have Senator Dole come up. I just wanted to say that Congressman Gilman is a very special person. He has worked for oppressed people everywhere. There are 40 Albanian Americans today here in this room who've come from, some of them from Long Island, to be here because they know what Ben has done. And by the way, what Senator Dole has done, because Senator Dole took 6 senators to Kosovo, where there's really a Warsaw ghetto right now for the Albanian people. And I just wanted to say they're here and will do everything they can to see Congressman Gilman not only elected, but to see a Republican House, because then Congressman Gilman, who's currently the #1 ranking Republican on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, he becomes the chairman of that committee. Wouldn't it be wonderful in 1994 to have the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee, Ben Gilman? That's what we're going to do. Right, fellas? Okay. And there's something else. Senator Dole. Wouldn't we want to see the senator become the majority leader of the Senate in 1994? Well, he has a good chance. There are many races next year, and they favor the Republicans. So we want to see Senator Dole as majority leader in 94 and perhaps president in 1996. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Wouldn't that be great? Okay. Let's hear it for Senator Dole. Hey, fellas, let's give him an Albanian welcome. Dole, 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 Dole. And Ben, in honor of all you've done for the Albanians, we just set up a new Albanian-American Public Affairs Committee, just like AIPAC. We got to take a lesson from our Jewish brothers and sisters. They've been so successful in Israel. You know, there are 15 million Jews in the world, only 3 million in Israel. Guess what? There are 15 million Albanians in the world, only 3 million in Albania. They have a diaspora. So the first check from the Albanian American Public Affairs Committee for $5,000 is going to you tonight. And the second check is going to Senator Dole on October 13th when we come down to see him. So thank you all for what you're doing.
But that's Bob Dole. That's a warm-hearted leader who never forgets his friends in the Congress. He's the kind of legislator we all admire and the kind of legislator we rely upon for advice, for leadership, and for his friendship. Bob Dole is a person whose confidence and advice we all share. Bob is a man who we've come to depend upon in the Congress for his leadership. Senator Dole, we're honored to have you with us tonight. Members of our Citizens for Gilman family, I'm pleased to present to you our good friend, the gentleman from Kansas, Senator Bob Dole.
very much.
Well, I really liked what Ben was saying. I almost started to believe it there for a while, but I appreciate it very much, and I'm very honored to be here. On Bosnia, I think it's going to be a sad chapter in our history. When the history is written 5, 10, 15, 20 years, when everybody stood by in the Western world, including the United States, after having gone through this 40, 50 years ago and did nothing and watched people, you know, by the millions being slaughtered, it's happening again in Bosnia, and nobody's doing anything. They're passing resolutions, they're saying it shouldn't happen. We say, do it one more time, we're going to get mean. And we never do anything. And what happens after Bosnia? I say to the 40 Albanians who are tonight, where's it going to be? Is it going to be Kosovo next? Where's it going to be next? What does Greater Serbia mean? Is it going to be Albania? Going to be Macedonia? You got, what, 1 million Albanians in Macedonia? You got 2 million in Kosovo. So where do you go next? Where does Milosevic go next? But my bottom line is, since we've stood by and done nothing and watched this little country of Bosnia being dismembered, and now we're telling the Bosnians, well, you ought to accept 30% of your country. We'll give 70% away, and we're going to go over there and protect you on the 30%. What we're going to go over there and do is to make certain they stay at 30%, trying to enforce some agreement that the people never wanted. And I think it's a mistake to send 25,000 Americans. It's going to be a hot place to go over there until we're certain we know what we're doing, until Congress, through the American people who elect us, have authorized the use of troops, 25,000 troops, $2 billion a year. We ought to be very careful before we start committing your sons and your grandsons to something in that area, because we've already muffed it, both administrations. The Bush administration started, we kept talking about a unified Yugoslavia when there wasn't any unified Yugoslavia. So I'm happy that Ben is there, and he'll keep an eye on it, and I know he'll do the right thing. And I would say that also applies to health care. Millions and millions of Americans are undecided. They're undecided. Should we go for a major plan? Should we sort of back off, maybe look at a smaller plan? And I would just say this, just stay tuned. The dialogue has just started. In 6 months, we'll have a better fix on what's going to happen. There may be a whole new plan in 4 or 5 or 6 months, one that we can afford, one without so much government. There can be a lot of changes because Democrats have ideas, Republicans have ideas, and they're not always the same as the White House. So we're going to work together. We're going to do the best we can. And finally, I just thank you for coming. I know it gets, every time you turn around, somebody in politics is asking you for money. We don't normally do it, but this is such an exceptional group. We decided to break tradition, and that's why you're here tonight. That's why Ben's here tonight. That's why I'm here tonight. That's why Ham Fish was here tonight. And we thank you very much for coming. Thank you.